That's correct. Can you tell us what office that person holds? No comment yet. Guess all you want.
Well, I can't.
And what made John Carpenter a man of principle very angry was the fact 20 minutes after the pre-bid conference, there were 5 of us at lunch with him. John Carpenter looked like he had seen a ghost. He answered the phone, and it was Sheldon Neely, Mayor of Flint. Now, he's not supposed to be calling someone on a sealed bid situation. It's highly irregular. Mr. Carpenter knows that because he served 6 years in the Williamson administration as, like I said earlier, the right-hand man of Don Williamson. And he made it clear that Mr. Carpenter hasn't been contributing to his campaign.
What's going on, big time?
Hey, I'm sorry about the phone tag, but I was sitting real tight with 3 other people, and I didn't know what you wanted to discuss, the topic of conversation. So that's why I asked to call back. But I'm out of there now.
Yeah, well, the thing was, you haven't contacted your friend in about 4 or 5 years or so. You didn't, you ain't been, we had to take you off the Christmas card list. You haven't been keeping in contact.
The Christmas card list? That's the guys that contribute money to Sheldon Neely. He's got huge war chest. Some are saying he might run for Dan Kildee's seat in Congress. Some are saying he wants to be mayor of Flint a while longer. Sheldon Neely has a slew of problems already, all kinds of allegations of bribes. And I don't know if he's taken bribes, but hearing this phone call, obviously wanting some pay to play, as you say, these are the problems businessmen face all over. And you can hear with your own ears how this situation came about, because John Carpenter looked around, he goes, can anybody help me tape record him? Because he's about to ask for money. I thought, okay. I set up a recorder for him. He went across the street where it was quiet. I told him, you push the button there and you're recording. And Sheldon Neely made it clear, you need to give me some $100 bills. Listen to the tape.
Okay, well,
I'll send you an invite to my next event, John, so you can get back in the fold, so you can tell, because I remember you used to have always kept a little folded up tightly $100 bill all the time.
Oh, you remember that was behind my driver's license.
Okay, yes, that's right. Well, you keep 2 with you. That's all right. I don't have that luxury in my wallet.
That's not all. I've talked to Tom Pabst, a very prominent attorney, and shared everything going on. The fact that Sheldon Neely said some very nasty things about yours truly. And well, listen to the tape. Here's what he told John Carpenter about his mistakes trying to get this bid. One, first, before he gets to me, he rips on radio show host AC Dumas, who was there covering the pre-bid conference. And then he moves on to ripping members of council, most notably Dennis Pfeiffer, who, without Dennis Pfeiffer, this thing would have been approved at $15,000 a year. Mr. Carpenter bid over $1 million. And he threw $100,000 on top of it to fix the clubhouse at Kersey Lake. It needs a roof. And they need a boiler at Swartz Creek where the restaurant doesn't have any heat. So that's the bid that the city taxpayers got because of Dennis Pfeiffer. And the mayor's ripping on him. He's standing in the way of progress. Yeah. Sounds to me like Dennis Pfeiffer got the city taxpayers a whole lot of extra money, because this event, this bid, it was this close to being approved. I think they actually said, all in favor say aye, and they all started saying aye. And Dennis Pfeiffer saying, wait a minute. What's this golf course lease? That's how this whole thing started a year ago. And they're just now putting out the bid. And by the way, I shared with the FBI this tape, and I shared with the FBI at Mr. Carpenter's urging. Some folks wanted Mr. Carpenter to wire himself for the FBI and go get a bribe from Sheldon. And Mr. Carpenter's 85 years old. He just wants his golf courses. He wants to run them and save them for future generations. He wants to make them look beautiful, something great in the city of Flint. What's wrong with that? Politics? Well, he didn't want politics to get in the way, but he was shocked by Sheldon Neely making it clear, you got to start contributing to my campaign. That's basically what he said in this tape.
So what's going on? You called me, man. I just went to city council trying to, the people in my back pocket are called the citizens of the city of Flint. This sweetheart deal of managing the golf courses came to me, not by publication, came to me through a couple of people that I still know on the city council, Dennis Pfeiffer being one of them, but I know several there, and they came to me when they through a business partner of mine, Mike Kilbreath. He came to me and said, "Did you know that they were considering extending this lease for $15,000 a year or something on 2 golf courses?" I go, "What?" You tell them I'll pay 5 times that. And
the thing of it is, that's what I was calling. I knew you were, around, and that's why I called you. I said, because you and I got a great level of respect for one another, but you're dealing with some toxic pieces there. And those pieces have not been well for the city of Flint. I mean, and the pieces I'm talking about is like a Dumas or a Kilbreath. They've been problematic for a lot of different things, and so they've been not good pieces. And so, so what I have a lot of respect for you. So those pieces doesn't help your positioning out with this administration whatsoever. I mean, because they've just been problematic and anti-administration. You sat in administrative offices where people were antagonistic or just anti-Don, irrespective of what deal it is, right? So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, I've been trying to keep politics out of this. I don't know if you can do it in dealing with government or not, but I've been trying to keep politics out of it. And so I said, well, I'll put my hat in the ring with the citizens of Flint as my backup. They should receive more money than they're receiving from this guy who's here now. I know how many rounds of golf there is, and I tried to get information on it, and stonewalled at every turn. So that was the reason for the meeting today.
Irrespective of what the deal is for the golf, definitely the citizens deserve to get their fair share of what it takes for public access to different things. But that should be true of every occasion. And so for the person that you described on city council, take a look at their voting history along those lines, right? If it's about getting more money for the residents of the city of Flint, especially when it's beneficial deals, take a look at their voting record. Right now, we have a $4 million grant from the state of Michigan to help with our recyclables and our garbage collection, right?
Yeah.
We give every resident a 96-gallon container for the recyclables and for their waste, free of charge, and extend our contract out with our waste provider to have no increase for residents until 2028. And I have the person that you described as your contact on council.
Well, it's not my contact necessarily, but I do know him, and he's the one who gave me the heads up on this deal with the golf courses.
I know, but what I'm just telling you is that they can say it for saying that we're missing out on money on one hand, but you can't do reverse course. It says, oh well, something else is going on because and I respect the guy. I don't have any problems, but I definitely have a problem with the way that they interpret different things, especially when I'm giving it to them, about how we can save residents. Even selling the old Buick City site for $300 million, you got to ask them how they voted on that.
Oh,
right?
Okay. But when they tried to get this existing agreement renewed is when they brought it to my attention. I go, what? I took Sugar Bush from dandelions on the green to a multi-million-dollar operation, hands-on for a number of years, and then with the Don, God rest his soul, with the Don, for many years after that, hardly a decision was made out there. He didn't call me on the phone or have me come and see if what they were asking him from remodeling the bar to increasing the size of the inventory in the pro shop. He he wouldn't do it unless I agreed that was a good idea. And so anyway, I'm giving you too much information on my background. I'm able to handle this agreement that's here now. But the guy who's there now, you may know it, you may not. You can't know about every contract and everything. This guy is in violation of his existing contract. Shouldn't even be in the same room trying to get it renewed. Let alone pay more money. He's not fulfilling the contract the way I got a copy of it finally, after a lot of arm twisting and threatening and FOIA and everything else to even get a copy of it. He's not doing that now. This guy has the city in a liability position, that just waiting for the next lawsuit.
Right. And so
he's not even qualified to do it because he hasn't been doing the one he's got now for 10 years and purchasing, considering this guy to fulfill a new contract.
I know, but the standard, the way we do business just changed when I got into office, right? So I had to evacuate a lot of bad things. Right?
Oh yeah. Well, this is one of them.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, but many of them were around the water situation that was going on. When I took office, I had to evacuate all those poor things. But definitely, Kilbreath sent an email that he said he sent it to everybody in the world, right? And so that is how you arrive to the door. And so that is just a poor way to do it. And I'm telling you, he has no equity whatsoever. And I would never, equate you to be online or even yoked with a person like that, right? And then AC Dumas, both those guys arrived with their hands.
Dumas, I haven't seen him in a half a century either. He just showed up at the meeting. In fact, what disappointed me is he pulled a race card from the time I introduced myself. What you don't want black people to be in on this? I said, wait a minute, man, I didn't say anything about that. I just said hello. I just said hello, and what are you doing here? So what? You don't want black people here? I go, what? You got to be kidding me! If I got
that is so funny. But same cloth, man. Did you see that letter that he sent off?
Yeah, he showed it to me. I said, well, if you think that's what I need to get their attention and get some of the information I need to submit a bid. I don't even have enough information to submit a bid. I don't know what equipment belongs to the city, what used to belong to the city, what's still there, what this guy's going to take with him, or anything. He said,
some attention, all right.
He said, I'll get their attention for.
Matter of fact, if it was softer, next time tell me, well, if it wasn't electronic, I would have known exactly what to do with it. Because it doesn't mean anything. And you know me well enough to know that what I'm saying is true. Man, bids are bids. We want to take the best one that we have available. But
let me interrupt you for a second there. This particular bid, Sheldon, should be going through the legal department and not purchasing. Purchasing is not familiar with buying or letting contracts on leases. They should be going through the legal department, and they could maybe make the outlines and give it to legal, give it to what's his name, Bennett, give it to his department there to put together in a lease, and this would be the just like you would do a credit check on if you're renting a house. Well, they would come up with the outlines there. You need to have a certain level of credit or whatever, but they're not capable of doing some of the things that are there. This guy's been violating the lease for probably most of the 10 years that he's been there. I asked for copies of the inspections equipment, and they're supposed to be filed quarterly. I don't think they filed any in 10 years, and it's right there in the contract in black and white. I can read the paragraph to you if I had it in my hands.
Yeah, I hear those things, but I'm talking about something totally different. If you remember back in the day when Don was here, if you remember Donahue had the golf courses under Williamson, and he cut off their water. If you remember, he did a lot of things to get them out of there.
Oh well, you have your hand on the faucet. Turn it off.
No, I'm saying I don't do that. I don't use those same type of tactics.
Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing you about that.
But I just want to caution you about those individuals, and you can share with them or not, but I prefer you don't. But this is just a warning, just saying to my friend, hey, pay attention to who you're dealing with, because don't listen to these guys. Just go through the process as the process is. Those guys don't get you any favors whatsoever, or any attention that you kind of want. That's all. And I assume that it was with your clan too.
No, he's not. I like I said, I haven't talked to the guy in 5 years. I just he came in the room, and I said, "What are you doing here?" And that's like I said, he pulled the race card. He said, "What? Black people aren't allowed to be in these?" I said, "No, I didn't say that. I said hello, man. I didn't mean to stir anything up." So he has nothing to do with anything. Mike, on the other hand, is put together some legal issues and tried to FOIA some of the things, file some assumed name, everything. He has a extensive background in that kind of stuff, so I relied on him to do some of that for me. All right. Well, I've got. I asked the question there in the meeting, by the way, because the bid that was sent out, or the request for bids that were sent out, finally after I twisted her tail and told them I put me on the list, calls for the mayor and the city council to sign that agreement. So I'm assuming that I can count on you to sign if I put my hat in the ring.
Yeah, but you don't bring that guy in my office. I tell you right now, we have a no-fly zone for that individual.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess my first thought was, why is the mayor not like me? We had a group from the group of guys sitting around trying to figure that out. Most of them have been over the last few years angry at me because I endorsed the guy. I listened to a community activist named Art Woodson who told us everyone to vote for the guy. He was blasting Karen Weaver, kind of baffling. What does the mayor have against me? I'm a radio show host. For the last year, I haven't even been on the radio. And this guy, he says, I'm bad news, I guess is the way he described it. No fly zone at Flint City Hall for me. And, a group of guys, had about 20 guys the other day at breakfast and trying to figure out what have I done to the mayor? The only things we could come up with were the Eric Mays incident, where one morning at 7 a.m., Eric Mays called my radio show from the hospital. And he said the mayor's chief of staff, his former brother-in-law, had beat the heck out of him at a bar. Now, we asked for a comment by text. We tried to call the mayor. We tried to call his office. We emailed him. Everything. No response. We run the story with Eric Mays' side of it, in that he was making a report to the state police. Subsequently, the state police asked for a warrant. Our county prosecutor decided not to issue that warrant, which is strange when the state police said, yeah, we believe you should issue a warrant. And he says, no warrant, no problem here. It's okay to beat the hell out of people, a councilman. Are you kidding me? I don't understand that to this day, but it happened. Now, Sheldon Neely, after it went on our radio show, WWJ in Detroit, WJR, 910 The Superstation, Fox 2, they all picked up the story. And within a couple hours, the mayor sent out a press release. And as Eric Mays has said a whole lot of times, there are a whole lot of lies in that press release. A political press release written by a city taxpayer-funded person. And you can't use your office for politics. And Eric Mays has hollered a lot about it. I guess I'm an enemy of the mayor because I've given Eric Mays a forum to talk about it on my radio show. The other incident would be the incident with John Gleason, where when Sheldon Neely got elected, it was a very close election. He had a press conference in John Gleason's office, the county clerk, and that's highly irregular. It shouldn't have happened. It's illegal. And they also made some misleading statements about absentee ballots that they're being passed out by the Weaver team. Those are applications, by the way, not ballots. Complete misinformation. No, I'll say it. It was a lie.